Okay, so as usual, I also just revved the gas so hard. I'm hoping that this is working. It's been a little finicky lately. Um, there we go. So I've realized that with my clairs and being on this path, spirit will like to test my faith of believing, of trusting, and something that usually happens is wherever I'm supposed to be that day, wherever I want to go, like anything that brings me a lot of joy, there will be hurdles in front of it, right? And some people say that this is like, people's bad energy or the devil, like, doesn't matter why, it doesn't matter what you really call it. It is a test of your resilience, of your consistency. And I had a call today at 10. I was supposed to be on, and I was like, shoot, I have this place that I like to be at. I like to go to service, and like I always feel better afterwards. I've been doing my healing, and literally I got up, and the car that I usually drive is supposed to be getting repaired, and right now it's taking extra long to be able to do that, and it just felt kind of weird. And I don't know, I felt like I keep seeing that car. It was just like some sort of hurdle, and I was like, why do I feel like I'm being tested or something important has happened? And I was like, no, I'm going to fight for me getting to this community. Like, I just have this overwhelming feeling that I needed to be there. I wanted to be there. And anytime that happens, I feel like it's the spirit and the ancestors about to deliver something to me of importance, and things will get in the way, right? Other people's energy, mindsets. And I'm like, am I going to give up? And it always has to do with a car, because when I was younger, I went through a lot of trauma around like being abandoned. Whenever I need to get somewhere, the car is gone. Like, I'm here right now visiting my family because I am closing out some legal stuff that I need to be here for. And it's at the tail end now. So I'm just like preparing to leave again. And I had that same feeling before I went running one day, and it was almost like spirit was like, are you gonna sit around in your trauma, or are you gonna push your way through? Are you gonna trust that everything's gonna work out, even if it's gonna be a little bit harder that day, even if there's gonna be some hurdles, even if blah 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 blah, right? And I was like, screw that. I literally, like, and it was a running thing that I wanted to get to, and I like got there as quick as I could. I called an Uber. I told them I needed to be there fast. I had my blinking lights on because it was a nighttime run, and I sprinted to like get caught up with the group, and I met some amazing people, and it led me further down my path. And today I got there, and I was supposed to sit like, or I told myself that I was going to sit towards the back because I was like, I need to make it to this meeting at 10, and I was like, I'm barely going to have time. That's kind of a bummer. And I just was like, spirit, just please make sure that the live music is still playing, because I just love it so much. And I get there and the live music is still playing, and this person walks up, like an usher basically, and they're like, oh, for one. And I was like, yeah, for one. And they're like, well, come with me right now. And I was trying to tell them, like, oh, I'm not going to be here that long. They just were like, come on, like, no talking, basically. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to let this, play out whatever way it needs to play out. And then they find me a seat in like the second row in the front, in the middle. between like two very big, like strapping masculines, and I was like, okay, cool, like I'll just be here. I feel extra safe around them, not gonna go anywhere, like I'm clearly not supposed to leave. And I was like double checking my email, and they're like, this is the only meeting, blah blah blah. And I was like, no, I'm prepared. I know I'm prepared. I don't need to be there. And so I was like, I'm just gonna sit. And then my phone on my affirmation changes to, I'm allowed to take time for myself to heal. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna take some deep breaths. I'm not gonna be controlling. I'm just gonna let this go. And it was a beautiful time, lots of singing. And I was thinking about like how I know I'm supposed to be leaving and going overseas, and I had said something to someone, and I was trying to get them to like pronounce my name, or like I was trying to spell it, and they're like, oh, Cece, and I was like, no, Z. They were older. And I was like, Zed, with a Z. And then they're like, oh, you must be European. And I was like, well, technically yes, I have a lot of family there. And like, they're like, you don't say Z, you say Zed. And I was like, today's an interesting day. And it just was really funny, and they were the sweetest, and they were laughing so loud at every single joke, and they were so excited that they were a grandpa. And like, it just was a really beautiful time. And of course I got like this urge. I was like, why do I feel like I need to go into the coffee shop? Like, I was like, I don't really feel like I need it, but like I need to, like there's something, like this pull, right? That's our clairs, that's like spirit, that's the ancestors calling us to be somewhere. And I walk in there, and I like, someone walks out at the same time, and then I grab, like, I order my drink. There's one little spot for me to stand, and there's this person who was like standing there smiling, and I was like, why do I feel like I need to talk to that person? And I was like, they'll start talking, usually that's the case. And I walk over, and they're like, hi. We have this whole conversation. I'm not going to tell you what about, because it's sacred, and you're still supposed to protect your manifestations. And it just was a really beautiful time, and just another confirmation of why I needed to like stand in my power, why like I needed to not worry, why I just needed to trust that everything was going to work out. And like, I was definitely meant to be there 10,000%. And their name and how they acted was like, spirit had been communicating with me about them for a long time, and then I finally was able to piece together their energy, and it's been them, which is why they needed me to pay attention. And then I ended up going over and like getting prayer done for myself, because there were things that I feel like I need to let go of in this phase of my life, as I'm shifting my business, as I'm preparing to receive different gifts and opportunities. And it just was a really beautiful moment. And again, confirmation. I know I've shared this before, confirmation of things that I have seen. And if you didn't watch any of my like other videos, or if you're new, like, I always ask spirit and the ancestors to communicate with me in very specific ways, so that I know that I'm safe. And any visions that they send me, the other person who I'm supposed to see will usually speak to that vision. And so I know that I'm always in the right place at the right time, and that I can like surrender into that moment. And that was something that happened. And the lesson was all around, teaching me, and what spirit does, teaching people how to fly and let go, and like be in their grace, and to be of service. And it just was a really, really cool moment. And yeah, I just feel really at peace and at home. And even though I missed that meeting, and I'm coming back way later than I thought I was going to be, it ended up being absolutely perfect. And I just wanted to share also with you, as I am driving home, because I am led to always drive like it's out of town, but there's a reason why I'm supposed to be there. And to just always trust your intuition, even if it feels weird, even if you feel like you don't have a ton of money, even if you don't know how things are going to get done, even if you don't quite know how you're going to take care of your children, like you are more protected, more held than you know. And that's what's so beautiful, and like why I wanted to share this, and why, you know, spirit has tasked me with making sure that I speak, because I am not one to stay quiet. And if sharing my story means that you can recognize miracles and beautiful moments more in your life, then I will do it for an eternity. Like that is just how my heart works. But again, I just invite you to really see outside of yourself today. And by outside of yourself, I mean like out of your ego, and you know, into your heart, into whatever you believe in, um, so that you can just be at peace, be comfortable in stillness, be comfortable meeting new people, because your soul tribe, and that's the other thing too, I just wanted to add, like your soul tribe is so different than what you've been accustomed to. They are sweet, they are kind, they are always going to find you. And even if I didn't say anything, I know that person would have still communicated with me, because you know, they're a part of soul tribe, and there's like destiny helpers that are all around you. And if you don't know what a destiny helper is, like go watch my other video about destiny helpers. You can't miss what is made for you, what has been designed for you by spirit, by the ancestors, by the cosmos, by source, whatever your verbiage is, whatever you believe in. It's literally impossible. So, you know, I know I posted a video about like not questioning every single action that you're taking, because it'll it always finds you when you least expect it. And you know, I was having a little bit of a harder day when I woke up, because I just have had a lot a lot of work and a lot of sorting out to do. And you know, my lesson over the last year has really been to not overwork, and to stay in my divine feminine, my divinity, so I can serve in a very different energy. Um, and so I was faced with that again, as it was like a spiritual sit down. Um, so just know that, like, even during those times when you are being taught a lesson or given the opportunity to change, it is still filled with so much love and compassion. And so be tender with yourself, be loving with yourself, and know that, like, it really is an opportunity of a lifetime. And I was telling someone the other day about how, you know, I'm so grateful that the ancestors and spirit give me the opportunity to grow, give me the opportunity to help my family, have given me the opportunity to question my ego, because I could be living a very different miserable life. um, but they have given me the chance, the tools, the knowledge, and the resources to help others, to like experience soul expansion, to surrender and realize that everything is taken care of regardless of what I do, as long as I show up with love and compassion. Like that is an opportunity of a lifetime. So I think all of us as a spiritual community need to redefine, really, when we're on social media and when we're in community groups, like how are we representing our opportunities? Because opportunities can be anything, right? Even if you use tarot, that I'm getting like Ace of Pentacles. Like there's so many ways to interpret things, and it could be a path to abundance. It could be a path to financial stability. It could be a path to love. It could be anything. Like a pentacle is earth energy. It could be a path directly to your ancestors. So allow your ego to subside and redefine what success and abundance really means to you, what um, earthly things really mean to you, and if they are as important as you think, or if you would actually be happy doing something else. And I I need to create that video around love, but I wanted to make sure that I articulated it in a way that was authentic and true to what spirit and the ancestors were or are trying to communicate, because a lot of us have been conditioned to chase things in the mundane, like just money, or just tangible things, and that's fine, right? Because some of us have not always experienced that life. But when you start to peel back layers, some people actually just want to be married, and they want to be married so that they can feel love and affection, or they want to be in partnership because they want to feel love and affection, and they're tired of being alone. They're tired of doing things by themselves, and they want to build a family, but they don't always feel safe saying that. And so as a community, it's like important that we also give each other the opportunity to express yourself in your most authentic way, regardless of like whatever wish that you have for yourself. And know that, again, that Ace of Pentacles, that because that's what they keep showing me, that that opportunity could be an opportunity for you to fall in love with yourself, or fall in love with someone else, right? Like but like, go with the flow and be in the moment, because it's these little things, like driving out of town and randomly walking into a coffee shop, that you could meet someone that will lead you someplace else. So trust that even in the smallest of tasks, even in the joyous of moments or the hardest of moments, that like all is well, and you are exactly where you're meant to be. That was a long-winded way of explaining that, but I'm just letting whatever needs to come out because I know that's why Spirit wanted me to also mic up. um, so I am wishing you all lots of love, lots of hugs, and I am going to focus on what I need to do right now. And again, if you are wanting community, if you want to talk about anything, if you want to grow your spiritual gifts, if you have questions about following your intuition, I invite you to join one of the sessions, because they're just remarkable. And I appreciate everybody who's been showing up and just been so sweet about articulating how they felt safe there, and they're not a talkative person. Like, there are many people like myself who are also neurodivergent, and I know that things are just happening in a very miraculous way, and I'm grateful for that, because it's time that we all embrace each other for our uniqueness and not judge each other. But I just wanted to share that and just formally invite you. There is a class tomorrow on Monday, and there's a class on Thursday and Friday, which they're just so much fun. And you just come as you are. You can come in your PJs. You can do whatever you want. And you can get to know people who are just like you. And sometimes folks just want to sit in the peace and quiet and take notes, and sometimes folks want to ask a question, or sometimes you find that you're sitting there and then all of a sudden some boom hits you, or maybe you feel called to be in a session and you're not really sure why, but there's likely a message there for you, or there's someone you need to meet there, or there's some sort of healing that you need to receive. So if you feel called to be in one of those sessions, I just invite you to follow it whenever your heart aligns. But I just wanted to share that with you all, and hopefully I will see you soon.